Hi, I'm Esther. I'm living in Brisbane, and I started my journey with custodian just this year from March. So my husband and I have always been interested in investing in properties, but we were living overseas. So we didn't really know who to trust to invest with properties. So we kind of sat and didn't take action for years. We are just a middle class, ordinary Australian family. My husband's a teacher, so he teaches music at secondary school. At the moment, I'm working for the Veterans and Families, and we have 3 children. They're aged 9, 3, and 2. We always believed in saving our wealth, not just for ourselves, for our future children, but not only tangibly giving our assets to our children, but the habits, the discipline, the values. That's what's more important than just accumulating your portfolio. If I can teach my children how to, build their portfolio, it's actually more valuable than just giving them the assets. And we had to be disciplined to look at our money situation and making property investment a priority. When you project that kind of future goals, everything just aligns. So it doesn't stop at one property. It goes and repeating the process. And it's been really easy because when I first purchased my first home, I basically project managed the whole thing. But this time I didn't have to do it for myself. It was someone else, a great team who actually really communicated with me, and it was really lovely. So the whole process was easy. We were fully expecting it to be longer, but to our surprise, it's taken shorter time. So I was really happy with that. I didn't have to check on everything. It just happened while I was sleeping. So now with less than a year's time, I can call myself an investor. I 100% will recommend it. I have 2 best friends, and we kind of sat together every week and set goals. And this year we were really looking at our money situation. My goal was to buy an investment property. Both of my friends are homeowners. So they are thinking about investing, but the process has been so easy. And my friends have actually seen me go through the process, and they know that this strategy works. So yeah, I will highly recommend it to everybody. You've got to be kind of realistic. It's not always rosy. There are some days you have to sacrifice, but custodians, they are all about facts and numbers. It wasn't all fluff, and it was all strategy-based. It was all discipline-based. So that's what I liked. And also that long period of time that's been around. And that's really important to me because it takes time to build wealth. It's interesting because my parents don't own properties, but they never really had to pay for housing because they work in situations where the housing was covered. But my husband's family, they owned properties, and they had money come from generations. So they gave us the deposit to invest into our first home. Sometimes people can be given money to do something, but when they're not ready, they might squander it. The important thing is we were ready when the money came in. If I were to give recommendations or suggestions, it's just put it on a piece of paper what you want. It's not going to cost you anything, and really think about what you want, and then you'll get there. So you don't have to work hard. It brings me hope because I know when you retire, it's not going to be much money. Giving that security and assurance that I have assets that I can rely on when I'm older, so I don't have to rely on my children. I think mindset and visualizing that you have the goal met is really important. Everything starts in your mind first, and then it becomes reality. So let me tell you a story, because I actually had secured a tenant today. And what's really warmed my heart is that this family that tenants are going to have a wonderful Christmas. And I have actually contributed to the solution of housing crisis by investing in a property, so someone else can actually live in a brand new property and celebrate with their family. So it's not just making portfolio, but it's really impacting people's lives. And I think that's what drew us into investing with custodians, because we've looked at different options, but me being a social worker, the last step of 7 steps to wealth is about be all you can be, and that's what I really believed in. And so that really aligned with our values as families, and we wanted to invest so that we can change not just our lives but the generations to follow.